All right, welcome back. Of course, Azume joins us now. And of course, there's a lot to talk about, Azu. Let me welcome you to the show this lovely Monday.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Lagosians. Good morning, the entire world watching. From the what you guys were discussing, earlier on, with what we did at the African Championships, I thought it was fantastic.
Right.
And of the good news that we've had, in the past week, this for me resonates a lot more because it feels more like our own accomplishment. It feels more like something that we did by ourselves. With our own athletes domestically, our own coaches developed right here. So it was fantastic. A very, very good achievement for them. Adekuroye on an upward trajectory. I think she is on course to get our first medal in wrestling, and hopefully she does it at the Olympics.
Hopefully she does it at the Olympics. The Olympics is just around the corner.
Aside Adekuroye, any other medal prospect? Some people are saying maybe in all of them, maybe 3.
Well, she's the only person that's qualified right now. So the rest would have to go through the qualifiers next month in Morocco. Oboru Dudu, obviously very, very experienced, won her 10th gold medal. But it's, her 10th at the African Championships. And then Ogbonna John, I think he's been impressive. I saw him at the National Sports Festival in 2018. And, I also know he's been on a special sort of training, working towards the Olympics. Even at that time, he had his eyes on the Olympics, But in terms of what she's done, in the past year and this year, I have to say Adekuroye looks really, really good for at least maybe even a bronze, but at least to get a medal.
Whatever the color.
All right, let's leave wrestling now for now. Let's get on with the show. And let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League Match Day 19. Some very interesting results to review on the show this morning. Let's start by taking a look at those results. And starting with the match that was played on Saturday between Dakada and Plateau United. That one ended goalless, as you can see. Elsewhere, it was Enyimba defeating Abia Warriors by 2-1. Katsina United, same scoreline over Warri Wolves. Sunshine Stars 2-0 over FC Ifeanyi. Adamawa United 1-0 over Heartland. Elsewhere, in our feature match, MFM came from a goal down to defeat Kano Pillars 3-1 right there in Agege in Lagos. Akwa United and Rangers goalless. It's a very, very competitive match indeed. Lobby Stars 2-1 win over Wiki Tourists. Rivers United 1-0 over Kwara United. Nasarawa United losing by the same scoreline against Jigawa Golden Stars. And Azu, were you at the stadium to watch MFM and Kano Pillars?
Actually, I wasn't at the stadium. I was otherwise occupied.
Okay.
But from all accounts, I think it was their best game of the season. It was the first time Pillars were returning to Lagos after that Super 6.
Ugly
incident. And also they had Rabiu Ali also taken to the field. And but after the game, you saw how fans came. They were, no hard feelings from the last time. It was everything.
They were beaten fair and square.
Yeah, they were beaten fair and square. It was 4 losses, 4 games without a win for MFM, coming, and then when they went 1 down, you'd think maybe this would happen again, and again, Pillars, 13 without a loss, coming to
I thought the
Lagos.
Pillars were going to be able to get a result here. If you look at what's happening in the camp.
Exactly, so with what's happening in the camp, the coaching situation, and again, their form coming into the game. You'd have expected Pillars to at least pick a point, And then when they went ahead, halftime they actually went into the interval 1-0 ahead, and then MFM. I don't know what happened in the dressing room. They came out, Kabir Adewale hasn't scored in a very long time. Comes in, gets the goal, Clement Ugu gets a brace, and then 3-1 at the end of the day. And, it's put a line under a very, very ugly run of form for them for the past 4 games.
Right.
And maybe, they can go on. And again, it's a very, very good response to the first loss that they had at the stadium last time out against Enyimba. So this is a very, very good response. And so maybe, hopefully, they can, kick on from here.
And a lot of people will be waiting for that so-called statement that we're going to hear from Farin.
I thought it was funny. The MFM director coming to say, they're undergoing a restructuring. You wonder how a restructuring prevents the coach from being on the bench. You know, maybe do you want to make him a mascot or do you want to make him
transfer him to another department?
Exactly. You know, so nothing stops him from being on the bench. You know, why even if there's restructuring going on.
But it tells you there is
yes,
something.
I mean, no,
yeah,
exactly. So there's a lot going on, and I know that there's been a lot happening since the loss to Kwara United, and then again after that they lost again to Enyimba. So his future has been under a cloud, and even now the statement doesn't even clarify if anything it adds to the uncertainty around
to the speculation and all that. Anyways, let's get the post-match reaction of the guy that was in charge of this game, the interim MFM FC head coach, Edmond Oludimu. Is that a lot to say? Obviously, he's very, very delighted with that comeback win over Kano Pillars. You can see the celebrations at the end as well.
It's the way we prepared. We prepared very well, and you can see the results. What I told them after the first half was let them make sure that they keep to the ball. They should play the ball on the floor. That is one. And two, they should have confidence. They should not be too much in a haste. That's what I feel is the difference. Definitely. We are into a venture now, and we don't, we're not here to just mark the number. We want to finish very well. We just want to finish in a respectable position. Let me put it that way.
Edmond Oludimu, interim. That's what he called himself after this game.
Yeah, interim, and he'll be in charge, according to what the director said, until Bolos's future is sorted out. I think it wouldn't be lost on the church and the club that the first time that Bolos isn't on the bench, they get the
very
win. So
impressive win,
especially after all the losses.
Yes. So perhaps it's maybe the new manager bounce. Maybe it's Oludimu showing that he's capable of taking over. Yeah, but I mean, the quicker they get this result, the better for them.
Let's look at this from a Pillars perspective. Yeah. If you were the manager, your side takes the lead, you go into halftime, still leading. You had plenty of chances to bury the game. You didn't. I mean, what probably would you think after the game?
I think he has to be disappointed. Of course. You're coming into face a team that's clearly on the down. You go in ahead,
struggling for form.
Struggling for form, exactly, and then you go in ahead at halftime. I don't think that any manager would see their team conceding 3 times, in the second half, and in 45 minutes,
and say it's okay,
and say even when they went into the interval, I think he would be pretty confident of getting the win, So I can't really put my hand to what happened. Perhaps it's MFM, the pride, and the whole playing for the fans and everything. Yeah, they raised a game. For Pillars, it's a blip. I mean, they've gone 13 games without a loss. I think the manager can be able to put this into perspective and say, okay, you know what, it's a blip. We go again.
Azu, you just said you don't know exactly what happened in that game, but I think the Pillars coach knows what happened.
Yeah, and let's hear him explain it to us, what he thinks happened, the reason for the loss.
When you got opportunity, you not to utilize your opportunity. When opponent gets it, you can use it. That's what has happened. We were supposed to finish the match in the first half. You say as an eyewitness, we missed about 3 scoring chances in the first half. So when they got their chance, they use it. That is all. Okay, good. I say it's a good side, but they lack a tactical stint when you compare to Kano Pillars. It's not the team that we lost, but we lost, we can't do anything. And we go back to drawing board to correct our error. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed, as I told you, because we take our chance in the first half with not to utilize it, and it's not good for a good team that want to go forward.
Yeah, I'm going to decide very well.
Okay. We're already getting ahead of ourselves. Of course, talk about Ibrahim Musa, and the guys agree that he has every right to feel disappointed. They had so many chances to bury the game.
We've seen football at the very top level. Azu, a lot of times when your chances come and you don't take them, there's a very good chance to get punished.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually...
that's what happened.
If you look at Pillars, you can say it's the story of their season. So far, I remember the first 4 games, I think they couldn't score until Rabiu Ali came back from his suspension. So they've had that problem with inefficiency in front of goal, especially after Lokusa left. So they've struggled with that. But they kind of like got things right, starting with that evisceration of, I think it was Aqua United. And, I think in their last 3 games, they've scored like 5 goals. So it was a department that they seem to have gotten right. But again, those problems flared up again yesterday.
All right, and so let's take a look at the table after 19 rounds of matches are played. Like we said at the start, Lobby Stars are back on top after that very narrow win over Wiki Tourists, and that's enough to take them to the top. 35 points from 19 matches played, and following closely is Plateau United on 33 points from 19 games as well.
It's a yo-yo at the top, depending on who's at home and who's away. So when Lobby go away, maybe they lose, they draw. Plateau United win their home game, and they,
but Plateau away.
They drew against Dakar. Dakar have been very, very good away from home. Not exactly. In fact, I think they've lost 2 games at home, but away from home they've been very, very good. Plateau United, I think the key thing is to make sure that they are thereabouts, heading into the second half of the season.
Stay close.
Stay very, very close. And I think the last 3 games, they came to Lagos, they drew, they won at home. And now they've taken the point again away at home.
Rivers United, not far away as well.
Yeah, Rivers United, not far away. I mean, it's been a very long time since the title went to Rivers State. I think since 2011 when Dolphins won. They haven't done it again. Last season, they missed the Super 6 by Whiskers.
Yeah.
And so, under the radar, nobody talks about them. They're doing well. They're getting the results. And, we could see Stanley Aguma. I think he's the longest-serving coach in the NPFL. We could actually see him win his 2nd title. Who knows?
All right, then. So, I mean, a lot of times we kept on saying it's still early doors. But now we're at the halfway stage. 19 games played already. The table is starting to take shape. We want to look at the red zone.
Rangers, I think after the horrendous run of form they had at the start, they've sort of stabilized a bit. And again, they have 5 games outstanding. And so, a couple of wins takes them up to the other half of the table. And Imba to have 5 games outstanding. And for Fatayo Show, I think he's been able to get to grips with the league. Lost his first 2 games in the league, and then, he won.
Funny enough, if Imba wins those 5 games, they'll be ahead of the current league leaders.
Yeah, if they win, but I don't think. One of the outstanding games is against Kano Pillars in Kano. So I think that they have tough fixtures, But the thing is, they're beginning to pick up. The losses are getting out of the way. They're winning games. They're playing well. They're scoring goals. And 5 games, they might get 10 points. They might get 9 points. It takes them right up to 3rd, 4th.
So you're not seeing Rangers in red zone after 5 matches?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't see them.
Interesting. Adamawa, Nasarawa, you think they're condemned to go down?
Yeah, I mean, Adamawa have been horrible. Nasarawa have been very, very bad. I think everybody goes to Nasarawa and wins, and that is a big problem when you can't win your games at home. Jigawa Golden State Jigawa Golden Stars are also another team that I think worries me. They play in Kano. They haven't really done very well this season. And I think we might just see Jigawa, Adamawa, and Nasarawa go down at the end.
It's going to get sucked down.
Exactly, because if you look at the table, Abia Warriors in 11th. They're just on 24 points. They're not too far away.
Not too far away. A loss, a draw.
Exactly. And it's the thing with the NPFL. It's very, very competitive. It's very, very tight. 2 games will change everything sometimes, But from what we've seen so far this season, I mean, see Nasarawa United, they have 16 points. Adamawa United, they have 17 points. That's 7 points less than what Abia Warriors have. And they are very bad. With Warriors, you know that at home, they can win, But Nasarawa at home, you're not sure that they'll win. Adamawa, the same thing for them, And the way, Adamawa, they've gotten beaten 5-0. They've gotten beaten 4, So it's for those 2.
They've been dying.
Yeah, those two are look like certainties.
You don't see them.
Then perhaps maybe Warri Wolves might get drawn in because they've not been very steady. Who knows? Kwara United too, but Adamawa United and Nasarawa United.
Sure bets for you.
Right.
They look certainties to.
That's it for the NPFL halfway stage. Let's get on with the show now. Let's talk about the Olympics. Our countdown continues.
All right, so this is an official confirmation. A lot of people say what we're doing is sending chills down their spine, but we have to do it. That's why we're here. Let's tell you the amount of days left. There you go, 165.
Wow.
Anytime we do this, we try to mirror it with what's happening with Team Nigeria.
Exactly.
And look at everything.
And it's only right we talk about our latest qualifier for the Olympics. Nigeria's women's senior national basketball team, the Tigress, in Belgrade, they qualified, secured qualification. That was over the weekend. And they played their last game yesterday against
the USA.
Against the USA. Before you talk about that one, let's talk about the qualification as well. Would you say you're surprised because would you say it was expected, considering you saw the group and it was Serbia, USA and Mozambique, and you always thought a win over Mozambique, I was going to get the job done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come as a surprise to you?
Yeah, so they did the bulk of the work in the pre-qualifiers getting to it. So what they required was just that one win.
Just one win.
Against Mozambique. And so they put themselves in very good stead to qualify. So I saw that, we could beat Mozambique. And, I mean, there was no way Mozambique was going to beat Serbia or the USA. And so that was us home and dry. And, when you look at what's happened with the Tigress going back the last 2 years, at the World Cup in 2018, they got to the quarterfinals, the first African team to make the quarterfinals. Obviously, they got decimated by the United States. And, they won the AfroBasket last year, 15,000 in Senegal, record crowd for a basketball crowd. Yeah, hostile. And Amina Mohammed was saying, there was a lot of shenanigans outside,
they
a lot of things
they
went through. But they're still able to overcome that and win. And so you see that what the coach has done, Otis Hughley, he's built together a winning machine. We've got really, really talented girls. We've got really, really good girls. And we've got girls that have been together for a while. And so there's that team chemistry. And you look at what they've achieved in Belgrade.
Yeah.
With very minimal preparation. I think they had just 2 days.
1 day,
and
basically.
And then the margin of the losses, when you look Serbia and the United States, were just cumulatively 11 points. Those 11 points could be the difference between a proper preparation, and and then the
W.
exactly, and the sort of fast, rushed preparation that
interestingly, you mentioned how the girls were decimated, were destroyed by the United States. That was at the World Cup. They faced off against this same United States side yesterday. The final match, the USA had all the big hitters on the court. You can name them. Nick Inekal, Gumike was there. There's Griner there. There was loads of other great players for the United States. But that was a scoreline, 71-76 in favor of the USA. Nigeria leading for long periods in this game.
Yeah, they actually led the first 3 quarters.
There you go. And the USA somehow, of course, expectedly, they upped the ante in the fourth quarter. And they got the win. Brittany Sonny beats me now. Was very instrumental in that victory. But look at the difference in margin.
Exactly.
Is there consolation in that?
Wow. In 2018, it was a 39-point blowout. It was 71-40.
There you go.
And then this is, 75, 76, 71, a 5-point difference.
Step up the gas? Or...
I mean, you could say, the United States, qualified already. Maybe they didn't put too much effort. And again, when they needed to up their game in order to win, they did. Yeah. So that has to be stated.
Factored in.
Yeah. But, I mean, with our girls, and you say this with the sort of preparation that they had, heading into a team the United States are world and Olympic champions, and we gave them a very, very good fight, very good run for their money. And I mean, there has to be a lot of consolation in that. There has to be a lot of pride in how they performed against the host Serbia, against the United States. There has to be a lot of pride, and I think Otis Hughley and the girls can rightfully take pride in how they performed.
And this is a moral booster going into
the
Olympics.
Mezine Kalu made the tournament All-Star. She averaged 16 points, 4.3 assists over,
there you go, isn't it, Kalu?
Nigeria's
guard making the OQT All-Stars in Group A. Of course, there's also Ineka Ogumike, that one that got away, could have played for Nigeria as well.
Could have.
Interestingly, her sister, Chini was on the show last week, right? But Ineka has decided to play for the United States of America. We need to go on a break now, and we'll come back. We're taking a look at the papers. We'll also continue our countdown to the Olympics. We'll have... not too good news and one very good news for you. Stay with us. You're welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Before we look at the papers, we have updates from Team Nigeria in terms of qualifying for the Olympics. This time we want to talk about badminton. And it's not very good news coming from that side in a bid to qualify.
Travel plans,
Yeah, travel plans seems to be a problem.
Yeah, that's what they're going through. I know we were chatting about it before we came on in. By the way, are there any updates?
No updates. The president, Francis Obi, was hoping that, by today, this morning, the visas would be issued. The tournament actually starts today. If they don't make it, and then there's a very big chance that, they might miss out of the team event, So it's something that is still battling. And maybe, between now and noon or 1, we might have updates. But at this period in time, I don't think that they've gotten the visas.
So it's not looking very good.
Not looking very good. Not looking very good.
But a lot could happen in a couple of hours.
A lot could happen in a couple of hours. And again, the president, I know he said yesterday that the ministry is actually working, there's been a bit more official intervention. So who knows, maybe that might get things sorted out.
Hopefully. That's all we can say. Hopefully that is
Let's talk about the one that's palatable.
Yeah, palatable news now.
Let's talk some karate on the show.
Yeah.
And the Karate Federation of Nigeria has confirmed that 2 of the athletes have qualified for
the Olympics.
The Olympics.
The final qualification.
Final qualification for the Olympics. And that's a bit heartwarming to hear that we're making progress in some areas.
Yeah, it's a bit heartwarming, and then what the technical director Chika Chukwumerije has done the past couple of years, has been fantastic. Also, the president, I think, Binda, she's been really.
Although
really
in this
good.
case, it's karate though.
Karate. I'm talking about taekwondo.
Yeah, talking karate.
I'm talking about karate. What they're doing, the president is I think Silas Agwara. I think they had. Tournament last year. There was a privately funded tournament last year.
They've been working quietly.
In Lagos, they've been working quietly. When we spoke in November, he, one of the things he said that he would like to see would be, a Nigerian get, on the medal podium, and now, they've got the opportunity to.
Yeah, but still one hurdle.
Yeah, it's still one hurdle.
Caretakers,
it's still one hurdle, but again, it's a very good development. They're getting closer.
So that's it. According to the KFN technical director, that's the Karate Federation of Nigeria, Dave Jegede. The athletes who have qualified for the final qualification tournament for Tokyo 2020 are Rustum Francis and Rita Ogene. Francis won bronze medal. That was in the men's under 69 kg category, while Ogene won bronze as well too in the women's under 68 kilogram category at the African qualifier held in Morocco over the weekend. So they're getting closer. Just one more hurdle for them.
All right.
And they'll be going to the Olympics.
All right. So that's a piece of good news right there. It's time to go on and take a look at the papers and look at the issues in the papers. Let's start off with Complete Sports. Let's look at the stories in today's Complete Sports. And there you have it right there on your screen. This one.
Why are you laughing?
From Adriana Gallo's mom says, my son will not, statement attributed to her because of course I didn't hear her say it, but my son will not return to Eagles again,
she should have a good idea of the
yeah,
situation.
She should.
Yeah.
Berbatov backs Igalo to deliver for Manchester United. Chukwueze extends La Liga goal drought to 9 games. Which one of these stories gets you talking, by the way? A lot of interesting stories. They also have something on Ronaldo.
Obviously, the Gallo to United transfer has, brought again to the fore his maybe coming back to
retirement.
The national team.
Yeah.
But there was an interview we had with him in December, and something he said was like, see, I'd never say never, even though it wouldn't happen or it might not happen, I'm not actually going to rule it out, because he said the same thing after the World Cup. He swore never to put on the jersey again.
Yeah, but he did not retire officially.
He swore. That's what he said. He swore that it took the intervention of Gennett Raw.
Yeah.
Raw kept persuading him, kept calling him. And again, he just told Raw, okay, because of you, but he swore because of he received
a lot of abuse.
There was vile abuse, So now he's gone out on a high. It's not like the World Cup where it was because of abuse and threats to his family. He scored 7 goals in the qualifier, scored 5 goals. Like, he is on a very, very big trajectory, very, 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 very huge outpouring of goodwill amongst Nigerians. And so there is enough reason for him to come back than there was after the World Cup.
Really?
So you can never say never. Exactly,
Really?
Yeah.
So you think Igalo might actually play for Nigeria?
I think, yeah, absolutely. I think so. And again, the coach wants him. The coach says he's going to go to London to see him and try and convince him.
But why?
Even without scoring a goal yet.
Just because he's gone to United.
Even before he went to United, Raw never wanted him to retire.
But I mean, why should Roy even be contemplating bringing Igalo back? There's a replacement in place already who's scoring goals.
Would that be a vote of no confidence? Would that be a vote of no confidence on the young guys who are currently doing the job?
It wouldn't be a vote of no confidence at all, because when you look at what we have options up front, Osimhen is doing very well, but you take away Osimhen, so who else do you have?
Yeah, but the situation now is, let's say you're talking about options, so you're not going to bring in an Igalo to be a bench option.
So
you think you want to do that at this stage of his career?
I think every coach would welcome a problem where they have this sort of quality to choose from. And again, Osimhen has thrived for Lille playing in a 2-man attack. So he can't pair Osimhen.
And again, Raw hardly plays up front.
I tell you what Raw told him. Raw told him that I can play you and Osimhen if you come back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That's a revelation.
I agree with you.
Indeed.
To an extent that every good coach wants his best players.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as they're still doing fine.
Yeah.
All right. Still on, before we leave our complete sports, Ronaldo makes Juve history. You saw that game?
10 games in a row. He's one game from equaling the Serie A record. Fabio Quagliarella has that record, But again, it didn't work out exactly for them. They lost to Verona, and now they're second on goals difference to Inter Milan.
All right, then Koulibaly has a £127 million release
Yeah, that guy
clause.
has been on the market for the past 5 years. And I mean, he's 29 years old.
It's
I don't know which club would bring out £127 million.
Perhaps City?
It's possible.
Yes, because City have the money. All right, let's go to Sporting Life is our next paper for review now. Again, Super Eagles list out. That's going to be an early match to pick 23 stars, and 2 or 3 will be on standby. That's for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Europa Cup latest, a hello to debut against Club Brugge. That's Odin Igalo for Manchester United. And Asatu Oshoala as well to kind of stop scoring.
Yeah, scored twice.
2 goals in the Spanish Super Cup final against Real Sociedad.
What
was that? 10-1.
Exactly. The coach of Sociedad was saying, like, this isn't football. You shouldn't humiliate my girls like this, But again, I mean, it's what you get. I mean, nobody comes out there to play. It's a professional game. It's up to you to up your game. For the Super Eagles list, I think for Gennett Raw, he would be putting out an eye. And I think there's a lot of injuries happening. Kenneth Omero had a very, very bad accidental clash of heads in his game. Victor Osimhen was traded out. Simon Moses also for Nantes, was also removed in the game before the first half ended. So there's a bit of worry in terms of injuries.
So it's very interesting to see the makeup of that particular list. Pochettino hopeful of landing Manchester United job as well on Sporting Life. And last, but not the least, before we just quickly go, Igalo to make United debut February 20. We talked about it already. Real
City
Madrid.
reject Messi.
City reject Messi.
No, I think it's the other way around. It's the other way around. No one rejects Messi. Come on,
even if he has one leg. Okay, all right. So that's going to be a wrap on the papers and, of course, on the show. I want to thank you. But first, let's thank Azul, man, finding time to be with us today.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
All right.
Appreciate your
We'll do
time.
this some other time.
Of course.
That's a promise on live TV. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. I'm Yemi Adebayo. We'll do this again tomorrow.
I'm Tayo Salam. Enjoy the rest of your day.